stock track. And 903 Cummins, all kinds of horsepower here. These tractors producing right around 4,000 to 5,000 horsepower. It's all set and done. They're allowed to run up to 4 turbochargers. Turbocharger, nothing more than an air compressor running off exhaust pressure. Is a little puffing going on. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a big run right here as Jeff Hurt down the Mr. Excitement, I like to call him, right there. He pulls the helmet off. He's got the oil all over the helmet, but he raises his arms in victory like Ron. Jeff Michelowski. 3 wins on the circuit last year. Like nothing better to pick up another couple here late on in the season here. Whoa! Wow, that red tractor, boy, I'll tell you, he's got some new parts under there. And they were working here to follow up the next night with her second win. And there we can see their first win, and here is the second night. Same thing. She really put it on them out there with the Range Rover tractor. She's done a great job of driving right down that right-hand side. And she's here this weekend as our test puller. Let's see how she does here tonight in Hillsboro. Wow. Well, she
went on a ride.
About it out there. It's our 2,050-pound mini ride.
Yes, she did.
Get rolling here tonight.
She was rocking and rolling.
2-time. 24.5 Mitas tires.
Are those the Mitas?
In the last month,
yeah.
So made their way here in the United States. And now these pullers are starting to put them to work, trying to figure them out. Oh, Kevin Masterson picks him up and lays him down here tonight in Hillsboro. And it looks like we are going to have ourselves a new leader, possibly over on the Pro Stock side. As we'll take a look, as we see the Midnight Gambler here has picked up another win here. Flashback here in Altamont, Illinois. That was the third win for the season for Jeremy. Midnight Gambler, as we see the hometown event, as we go back to live action here. 41 Dodge. Oh, boy, they're parking them right at that lead distance cone once again. Jeremy Nelson with another great run here. Could that be win number 4 on the horizon here for the Midnight Gambler? Now, we mentioned number 4. On this tractor here, transverse mounted engines, sideways.
Is that the waffle tractor, Charles?
Cross box between the two.
Yes.
Simons, that they won from Simons?
Mm-hmm.
Phase, you can hook up these engines on these multi-engine modified tractors. All right. Shannon Weiss, you're underway. All right, no doubt about it. He's going to be our new leader here.
Welcome, everybody, to Let's Grow Pulling. It's Monday, November 21st, and obviously this is the biggest news we've ever had since we've been doing Let's Grow Pulling. And as everybody knows, Lucas Oil announced at their banquet Saturday night. Towards the end of the banquet, they turned the live stream on, and that's how we started hearing about it from pullers and different things like that. And this is the press release that's on their Facebook page, or excuse me, on their website right now. Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League to be discontinued in 2023. Lucas Oil Products has decided to discontinue its ownership and operation of the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League following the conclusion of the 2022 season. And I don't know if a lot of people actually knew that Lucas Oil actually owned the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League and they weren't just a title sponsor. And that could come into play with all of this as well. Established in 2006, the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League has operated as one of the premier tractor pulling division organizations in the country, with 14 member state groups and 1,400 competitors across several different divisions. The Champions Tour and Silver Series comprise 13 different classes of elite pulling action. The series officially wrapped up the 2022 Champions Tour banquet held at the Hyatt Regency in Louisville, Kentucky this past weekend in November 19th. And this is the official statement then. For the last 17 years, Lucas has been the primary owner, operator, and promoter of the Pro Pulling League, which has featured some of the most amazing tractor pulling competitions in the world. The decision to discontinue the series was difficult and not taken lightly, but was necessary to allow for the company to grow and develop in new areas, said Morgan Lucas, president of Lucas Oil. While we are moving away, as owners, we are proud to continue to support racers in different ways, reinvesting in future opportunities. I'd like to personally thank everyone who helped with the Pro Pulling League for nearly 2 decades of exciting competition. So obviously the pulling world's in shock right now, and Ryan's in shock. His screen went black.
I was sending a text to somebody to get them on the live stream. They had questions for me.
Got it. I want to thank Lucas Oil. We all do. All of us on the show right now. Charles Posch, Brent Yarin, Paul Romack, Ryan Rusink, and Vanderholm. Cody, I read it, Cody, sorry. Cody Vanderholm from Vanderholm Media down there. Our panel here on the show every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can listen to this as well on iTunes and Spotify. Just search for Let's Grow Pulling. But we want to thank Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League for 17 years of amazing truck and tractor pulling. And we've been told $20 million from Lucas Oil was paid back to the pullers the last 17 years. Thank you. Thank you for keeping it interesting. Thank you for giving pullers, fans, another option. I think everybody in the world believes you can't just have one. I don't know if I should say that for all of us. I like competition. I think competition makes people better. I vaguely remember when Lucas Oil brought ATPA. I was a pulling fan, and like Charles said, we had pulloff.com, the Puller magazine, and Fonda's message board, right, Charles? Is that what you said earlier?
That was about it, yeah.
All of our pulling information. Obviously, with social media now, it has changed forever. I always believe with every change, I think it's an opportunity. This could bring new sponsorship dollars into the sport. This could bring some youth into the sport, a whole new way of thinking into the sport, because I think we all will admit that sometimes we're very, very tunnel vision. So I like to make lemonade out of lemons when we can. Now, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and we're not going to get into that tonight. All the facts that we know is that Lucas Oil has discontinued Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. Does that mean there won't be a Pro Pulling League? I don't know. I mean, I've talked to people today that said there won't be. We all have. I mean, every single person in the pulling world has been around. Tonight we're talking about facts, and as things develop, we're gonna put all your comments up on the screen, and then we're also, as things develop, maybe we'll get some text messages. But we are not here to start rumors. We're here to report the facts. But we're here to. I really want to hear from the fans tonight, the pullers tonight, and different things like that. Why did certain state associations leave the NTPA to go to the PPL? Did they do something to make these state associations mad? Did the NTPA learn from that? Right? Because I've had people call me today saying, Jason, the NTPA has lasted through five competitors over the years. And Charles, they're SRO, TNT, USHRA, the ATPA, and now PPL, right? Yeah. So, and then, you hear all the NTPA is just stuck in their ways. They're never going to change, but whoever's number one for the longest, there's always going to be disgruntled, right? There's always going to be, it's always easy to poke at the boss that's been around the longest. So, and then now, or if you're the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association, is this their chance to come east and not just be the pullers west of the Mississippi? Does this give them more recognition? Do they pick up more state organizations or divisions like they have with the Heartland? Those are all questions that none of us are really involved with, but I guarantee Kurt Van Beek's phone's been ringing today. I guarantee that they knew about this long before we did. I guarantee the NTPA has been very busy today. Again, I guarantee they knew about this before. I've heard rumors that, the people in charge knew this was coming, but they want, you got to celebrate your season. This is one of the major associations in the country. I don't know who had more big events throughout all that, but the facts are it's discontinued. How is it going to affect pulling? And we're going to touch on that tonight. Is this a chance for those of you that want uniform national rules across the major associations? Is this a chance that you get all the big heads into a room and make that happen? Is this that time where we have these big time payout polls like what we are trying to do with the Pullers Championship? I don't know. But ultimately it's up to the pullers. When pullers complain, I don't like it because I was just at the Outlaw banquet last weekend, and we had a board meeting, and we set our rules. Like, we decided for the limited pro class that we're going to allow any tire as long as it conforms to the width and circumference rule, and we can go up to 52 lugs. I feel like we got to make that decision. Our class rep took that to the board, and I know that's a standard way of how many people do that. But pulling is not dead. Pulling is not going to die. Now, will there be a pull in Hillsboro, Wisconsin this year? The flagship of the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League, the many time Grand Champions Tour Pull of the Year? I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate tonight. But those are the questions I think the fans are having. If I'm a puller, or if I'm a fair board member, or if I got the fair convention up in January, I think these next couple of weeks could be uneasy. We're in banquet season now. Everybody's celebrating their championships, and we're setting our rules up. There still is a schedule, and I'll get to the comments, guys. I'm almost done with my opening, but again,
your opening rant.
No, am I ranting? Charles, am I ranting? I always go to you.
No.
But
I call bullshit. Sorry.
Okay. Polling isn't dead, just the facts. Again, but there are a lot of unanswered questions, and I guess I'm gonna start to put those up on the screen. I really want a lot of input from our panel as well, and from those of you that are watching. I don't want any negatives. I don't want any negative stuff because it doesn't deserve it. I want to thank John and Christy personally. For the Silver Series, you were able to escalate the 4-1 class that I'm part of, and I got to go pull at Henry, Illinois, and Jerseyville, Illinois. I got to do that. I want to thank the NTPA for bringing the 4-1s to Toma, Hutchinson. Again, I'm kind of being me now, just for a couple seconds, but it's nice to pull at those big venues like that. So the future polling is not dead. I think everything happens for a reason, and I always think that cooler heads prevail. That's not the right thing. I think when the right people get in the room and make the decisions. I think we're going to see some good things happen out of this. Will we see it in the next 2 weeks? No, because you can't have something like this and just flip a switch and have it all be okay. So, I just did. I think I'll check my notes. I actually did some show prep for once, guys. I'm kind of proud of myself. But thank you again. Thank you, John, Christy, everybody that was part of Lucas Oil. They're the two people that ran the day-to-day operations of it, and they did a hell of a job. And my favorite has always been Mound City down there with my buddy Chris Wegel. That's really where I got to announce my first big pull. So I'm super appreciative of that. Nashville. So I'm just gonna start to roll through the questions, guys. I'm gonna pop up on the screen. Charles, Brent, Paul, Ryan, Cody. I guess we just kind of adapt them as we go.
Yeah, I saw a couple comments that were directed towards, how's this going to affect member states? Kind of looking at Badger State, OSTPA, a couple of them I'm more familiar with, is that they do a phenomenal job with getting, in-state sponsorships. Obviously, they're not going to get the sponsorship dollars from, Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League like they normally would. So they, might be an extra push to go out and get some more sponsorship, but I don't think it's really going to affect them too much. And I believe, Badger State, they're strong associations. So is OSTPA. Mid-South, I saw that, Shane brought that up. I don't really see it affecting it in any way because, they're a member of it. The only thing that is going to affect them is just the insurance. They're just going to have to go out and find the insurance to be able to cover their association and their events. And other than that, I think they'll strive, and who knows, what the future of what PPL is going to be. Maybe somebody does, get involved, and they're still a member state for a national association. So it's a big waiting game, really, just to see what's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks or couple months, just to see what happens.
Remember how bad COVID sucked, guys? How much COVID sucked because it canceled some events. But that's the first time we as fans saw legitimate crossover. When Holman's went to Rock Valley, you guys remember that? To the Outlaw Bowl?
Oh, like it was yesterday.
So that was some good things that came out of COVID, and obviously I'm part of the Outlaws. I'm a member there. I help with their social media and stuff like that. So that's an amazing association, but it kind of, it's the pullers west of the Mississippi, but there's some big events out there, Wisner, Rock Valley, to see that, and for Rockwell and Rock Valley to come off the same weekend, it'd be neat to see associations work and not schedule those big polls on top of each other. So we could go around and bounce around and go to some of the bigger ones like that. But I really wanted to say that, like, yes, COVID sucked for many reasons, but it was good for a lot of reasons too. For the events that did happen, especially those Iowa events like Rockwell, Rock Valley, it took them to the next level of national exposure. Because one thing you can't replace is time. Toma, Chapel Hill, Bowling Green, those are 50-year plus events, aren't they, guys? 50 years or more.
Yeah.
So, like for some of the Champions Tour events, I think Rock Valley is coming up on 25 this year, I believe. Guys, that just 50 years of just awesomeness over and over and over again beaten into their head. So I just wanted to bring that up. And this is the biggest audience we've ever had, and we knew it would be, but it needs to be, because this is the biggest news that we've ever had. What would be the last thing that a big something like this? Was it when they combined the Alki and the Diesel Supers at Louisville, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Everybody.
I don't think there's anything that's been as big as this to shock the sport like this has.
Does this mean the Outlaws could be getting more polls? I don't know. I could give you Kurt Van Beek's number and you can ask him.
And one of the things with NTPA or Outlaws picking up more events is, look at Outlaws' schedule currently. How many more events can they pick up?
No, they'd have to pick up
stretching thin and not having enough classes. There's weekends where there's 3 events on Friday night, 3 events on Saturday night. You only have so many classes and so many hands to help. So same with NTPA. You can only schedule so many events in a weekend, and you can only have so many events on your calendar before you run out of room to be able to have any more events. So I think that's going to be one of the issues that, whatever happens in the future, if events do come up for, needing a new association to come in, that could be, stretching some people thin, and where either they have to go to a state association or they're going to have to find something else to replace that. So that is another thing that, could come from this, but again, just time will tell.
And Kurt, I know Kurt helped run Western Series for many years. I don't know how involved he was with Champion Tour events. I think some, Bruce, you would know it better than me on that. I think Kurt lives in Nebraska, but that's by far their production of MAV TV and Flow Racing. That was the best. That was the absolute best. It was like watching NASCAR or NHRA. It was the best. I agree with so much in this statement that Kurt has brought out there. I'm trying to think national TV, so guys, what NTPA is on RFD TV, right? Outlaws have Outlaw Pulling TV. What was it, Masters Entertainment, when Roberts had the Outlaws?
Yes.
I was always told, and this, I don't mind saying this rumor, I was always told that Forrest created MAV TV because it was cheaper for him to have his own production company than it was it's expensive, guys, to buy network TV. Like crazy stupid. It's like the other night they had freaking ping pong. No, they had like Ultimate Tag on ESPN. And I'm sitting there with my wife. I'm like, why in the hell do they have Tag on TV versus that? But it's probably the production cost, right? One camera, 2 guys running around in a jungle gym trying not to get tagged. One guy's from Sweden and one guy's from Bulgaria. I don't know. But Kurt, respect your opinion on this, and I agree with you.
I don't think that's going to go away, though. I don't think that's necessarily going to go away, because that had been in the works back even to the spring, that they handed that off to Flow, and they've divested themselves from MAV TV. It's not just PPL; it's everything across Lucas Oil. The Dirt Series loses it. The NHRA stuff loses it. It just is going to exist in a different form now. And Flow has made a big investment to expanding their company and their offerings, and has hired a bunch of people to kind of absorb what MAV TV was doing. So there's no reason that can't continue, and maybe some of the other groups will pick up on that as well and join with Flow's offering. So that part doesn't have to go away.
Yeah, at least on the production side of things. Obviously, we're gonna lose the the social media team, the sponsorship teams, things like that was offered through the whole Lucas Oil brand. Obviously that's a big loss. But if whatever direction happens here, I think Flow Racing is kind of the way that a lot of motorsports are going, and just sports in general. There's Flow Racing and Flow Sports in general just does so much, and I think that there's still an opportunity to leverage Flow Racing for tractor pulling. So
I want
Dakota. I want to respond to that one, Dakota. I want you to save your money, pick up a subscription, a 1-year subscription to Flow Racing. It is the value for the entertainment is unbelievable. I balked at it my first year.
Mhm.
Well, a few months ago when Mav went away, because I had Mav TV Plus, and I went to, kind of begrudgingly to Flow Racing, and I was very pleasantly surprised. And much to my wife's chagrin, I found myself watching a fair bit more, roundy round stuff, and some of the drag racing, lights out, and some of that kind of stuff. Heck, I might even see Charles announcing there next year. I don't know. Do they have any of your stuff?
I don't know. They didn't this year, but that doesn't mean it won't go back to them for 2023.
Well, and I've seen cars
Isn't RFD TV free, guys?
Well,
No.
It's not?
if you want to
No,
watch
it's-
it on ntpa.tv, any of them online, you have to pay for it.
And then Outlaw Pulling's $40 a month. I don't think that's absurdly expensive.
But I agree with you, Bruce. I mean, the flow racing is it's got everything. I mean, if you're a fan of just motorsports in general, it's got literally anything you can think of. And not only that, I mean, you can there's like flow wrestling, flow basketball, flow baseball, and there's like, you can watch high school, college sports all across.
So
the
it's like a
nation.
Netflix, Brent?
Was that?
Yes.
It's like a Netflix?
Yeah,
Okay.
you get everything that's related to flow sports and flow racing for one subscription.
Sounds
You're not
maybe
just
a
paying for
sponsorship
flow
for
racing and that's it. You get everything, and it's there's just so much out there that you get with it, and it's the value is just unbelievable.
They've got one channel that is nothing but 24 hours a day reruns of old races. I've caught myself getting sucked into some of those. Go, man, this is cool. I remember that guy. That kind of thing.
Charles, when the ATPA went away, was there any kind of response or panic? Do you remember exactly how that all happened?
Yes and no. I mean, ATPA certainly had its partisans, but I guess the difference is when ATPA went away, there was some chicanery going on and people weren't getting paid. So you had your share of people who were actually kind of happy that Lucas Oil and PPL were stepping in to take it over and run that organization. But was there any sense of like panic or trepidation about it? I don't think so. Because I think it's hard for me to remember in the time when it happened what the specific timeline was, but I think we all kind of knew that, hey, this Lucas Oil is going to come and take this. We didn't have what we've got now, where just an announcement that, hey, it's over and hold your breath. So I would just, tell people, be patient. There's some pretty smart people behind all of this.
Well, if you want to see a good post, go check out Hazley. I think
what Patty Hazley had to say is perfect.
She said, "Hey, at least at the end of this one, we got our end of the year checks." So she's like, she put a post out there. Go check that out if you want to know.
I'll share it to the screen. Give me 1 second, Paul.
Yeah, and going back to what you're saying, Charles, too. I think we don't know what the response is similar because of social media. I mean, it is out there like that and shared like that. Everyone knew, in an instant, and it spread like a wildfire. Back then, again, Facebook wasn't popular, and
it didn't
Twitter
exist.
wasn't
popular. In 2004, it flat out didn't exist.
Yeah,
YouTube, I think, was like barely a thing in 2004.
Exactly.
You could post like a 2-minute movie was the longest you could put up. I mean, like there was none of this.
Everybody was MySpacing.
True.
Yeah, maybe that maybe back that far. Yeah, MySpace might have been around, but it was. You had the message boards and the magazines and the telephone.
Yep,
that was it.
And pulloff.com.
Yeah. I forget which website it was. I want to say it was Jerry Richardson's Eastern Extreme. This would have been like 2000. He came up with a chat room, which used to be a thing in the 90s, but it was a pulling dedicated chat room, and you could go in there and there'd be pullers in there and they would talk to you. And I remember thinking back then how cool it was and how far we've come.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Europe. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm trying to flip through Charles, can you go through the comments and put them on the screen too? You can,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
I wanna go look for Patty's comment because it was really good.
Charles, can you start with Daniel Heltenbrand's comment, because that is something that you and me and Vanderholm Media Studios will all appreciate very, very much.
Is that one back a ways?
Yeah, early. Daniel, if you're still watching, put it back in there.
I'll go find it.
I think the big takeaway is just we don't know what the future's going to
Bingo.
hold. We just gotta wait and see.
That right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you may now return to your regularly scheduled questioning.
There,
Cats
right here.
sound like they're happy, Ryan.
Huh?
Yeah.
Is that your cats? Was that Charles's cat or is that Ryan?
No, that's somebody else's. That's somebody
Yeah,
else's
that's
cats.
mine.
My cats are currently trying to kill each other.
But
It's weird. The little one picks the fight with Hazley. It's like the
Was that on
dumbest
Patty's
idea
personal
ever.
Facebook? Was that on Patty's personal Facebook page?
It was under Ainsley Machine Pulling, their page.
It might have been their group.
I think it was in the group.
Group.
It was in the group.
That was just on their page. I haven't been on the group. I saw it on my timeline earlier, and now I can't find it, so I'll get it. Again, if you're just joining us, we opened up the show with the press release from the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League that it is done, and we're just talking. We just want to hear your comments, what your concerns are, and different things like that. So type them in the comments. Charles and I are flipping them up there. I'm gonna go look for that post that Hazley had because I really liked about that. So.
And Brian, you were one of the first guys I thought about when this all came down. Just keep the faith, brother. That things will work out.
mm-hmm.
Well, and so, yeah, so we're getting a couple of comments on here about being patient. I mean, if you think about the timing of this, I guess, announcement, there was really no other good time or no better time to do it. You are in banquet season. You're not to the point where, you get in that January time frame where county fairs have got to make a decision on, what shows, what entertainment they're going to bring, whether it's pulling, a concert or whatever. But now you're at the end of the year. It was the last thing that was discussed at the banquet. State associations, county fairs, they're going to have the time now to try to figure out what they're going to do. And like I said, we don't know what's going to happen. Do they need to call in TPA? Do they need to call outlaw? Whatever. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We just know what we know as of right now, that there was an announcement, and we'll see what comes at the end. I mean, they've got to do their thing and do their due diligence. I hope that somebody picks them up, but this is the only real time that they could have made this announcement that made sense. You can't do it during the year. You can't do it before the banquet, because then that's what the banquet becomes, is a big old, oh my God.
Support group.
Yeah, it's like a funeral.
You can't do it on the Monday after, because then the people shoot arrows at you like, well, how could you be so happy all weekend knowing you were going to chop everything off on Monday? Yeah, and then there is a lot of, I don't know if this was said or not, I didn't go to the banquet, but there was a lot of people that were saying at the end of posts, we are not friends, we are family. I have a feeling that was probably said on the stage. It was.
John made that comment.
So, that just goes to show you right there that this wasn't, there's some, it was a very emotional announcement. I do know that. And I mean, it is what it is. Now we've got time. Associations have time to figure out, what their next move is. They have your promoters have time to figure out what their next move is. But like I said, the only thing we know is what the announcement that came out today was, the official press release. Anything that is said anywhere else, and I said this a couple of weeks ago about the TPC stuff, unless it comes from them, it's all hearsay.
Yeah. Agreed.
And there are a lot of things being said, right, wrong, or indifferent. Sometimes easy for people to hide behind a IP address, but the only thing we know is what was released at 4:00 this afternoon.
Thank you for all
Thanks,
the
Troy.
comments.
That's what we were trying to get.
Yeah, thanks for all the comments, everybody. And I did throw it up there as well. But again, let's rally, I guess, if you will, and support our local associations, and help them. And this is your chance. If you've ever wanted to do something, now would be the time to raise your hand. If you want to get involved in polling, reach out to these associations because, to me, that's just like, where are these Champions Tours events going to go? You know what I mean? It's hard to absorb all of that to somebody, I would assume. That's just my personal opinion on that. So.
My first 2-track show was actually Mountain City. So otherwise it was just single tracks. So
No, my first 2-track and Champions Tour show period was Mountain City. Shout out to Wagle for trusting that I wouldn't get myself killed.
Guys, look at this. Why not sell shares? We've talked about that with fair associations. What, Charles, Bruce, Paul, Cody, Brent? Like the Green Bay Packers, employee owned.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, I don't know how you get that all squared away, but I mean, it's probably something that could be or maybe being discussed. Who knows? I mean, it's an option, I would say.
Mhm.
Don't know how viable, but it is potentially an option. And that was a good comment. Go back to that one. Just have to be patient. There's time before, I mean, you think about it. This is November. First shows usually fall end of May, 1st of June. There's time for things to come together or places, different organizations to find shows. This is not a death knell to polling like we were talking about earlier. Polling is going to be just fine. It's an adjustment that might have to be made. So we'll roll with it. Kurt, you're probably very true with that statement.
Make the number.
Was Lucas Oil the best paying organization? Was Pro Polling League the best, highest?
I don't know what Outlaws numbers were, but versus NTPA, it was better.
Yeah.
It looks like it, based on what was said at the banquet, it worked out to Lucas Oil putting in roughly $1 million or more every year.
I would have thought that would have been more.
I think we touched on this earlier, Esden. It's going to be up to the state associations whether they do what ITPA did years ago and go out on their own. Illinois, I'm referring to Illinois tractor pullers, or do they team up with the Outlaws or the NTPA? The Outlaws brought on the Heartland Division last year. The NTPA, of course, has their regions, and then Lucas Oil had their state associations, like your Badger States. That's what I'm most familiar with. I was on the board for a couple of years. I was vice president, and I learned a lot about behind-the-scenes stuff, different things like that. Wesley Foster, I played the Powerball. I did not win, so that will not be happening. So, Kurt, I remember that poll, Ryan Rusink. Brad says, I don't think Lucas would just pull out and leave people to go away. They invested so much time and money into the sport. I'm sure they're placing organization in capable hands. I think it's best to sit back and let the course go for a couple weeks. The faces and names may change, but polling isn't going away. So, here's a good question for the panel and for everybody watching. What's the worst thing that could happen, guys, from this? The absolute worst thing.
Somebody buys some signs and trailers and then takes them to the auction, and that's it.
Yep. Right. I mean, that's really what that's at the end of the day, and it's fun to talk to you about and speculate and drink some beer and tell stories, But I think this is not the end of the world. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. The off season is when you kind of get a chill a little bit for about 10 days for these guys before they get into fair season. But I think I really want to stress that. So, a lot of these comments, Elkhart County and the Fair was a 2-day show. Absolutely. Mick Broughton says that's why I was asking possibly puller owned. I don't know how you would do that. Simon gave away a modified. Maybe we could give away the Pro Polling League. So
just call it a waffle. Just make sure you call it a waffle and it'll be fine.
The Waffle Polling League?
Yes.
Yes, it'll be the WPL. the waffle pulling league.
Okay, here's a question for everybody. Is this a result of pullers having too many places to pull and a lack of unity and consistency?
No.
I don't think
No.
so. I think this was a business decision
Oh yeah,
based upon
Agreed.
liability, is what I've been
100%.
told. Yep. Wasn't the NTPA saved by selling shares? I don't know the question to that. Brent Yarin says yes. So
They did sell shares.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. That would have been what year, guys? Anybody know?
1985.
Thank you, Charles.
Without hesitation.
Nerd alert.
Maybe we should have made that stage that. Did we stage that question?
No.
Nope. These comments are going so quick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ference. Agree.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The Harley's checking in.
And like the other thing too is obviously if if nothing happens next year with PPL and the major associations can't take on any more events, I think 2020 showed that you can go on and do your own thing and still have a successful event. I mean, do you have to be sanctioned with the association? Not necessarily. So I mean, that could be an opportunity where some places that they might be able to do something like that and still have a successful event.
Indiana Pulling League is a perfect example. They're unaffiliated and they're extremely successful. They got a great thing going. So who knows?
Was Lucas the sole owner of PPL? RJ says no. I don't know.
He said no to the comment from the lack of rules and unity.
Jeremy Yeager's comment.
Sorry. Yeah, it's hard to. They're rolling in tonight, so I got to keep your. Thank you for that. Russ says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." That's for sure. Yes, Lively. There you go, Lively. Don't treat this as a funeral. Treat it as a rebirth. 100% agreed with that.
Exactly.
Well, Brian, we tried to hire one of those New Orleans style brass bands to play the opener, but we couldn't get anyone on short notice. So
there are still new tractors being built. There are still new vehicles being built. This doesn't spell the end.
nope.
It's just like Lively said, it's a rebirth.
Somebody said they're building a new 2.6 truck. You'll be able to.
Yeah, I saw something about that too. At NTPA was going to pick up that as a class. It technically is a class with NTPA.
I'm not sure where they live.
So
that person that
it just depends. Yeah, it depends on where you are and what association. So like WTPA added the class. And if you look at on like their website, they do have it listed as one. I don't think they actually have a set of rules specifically because with it, but as a state association, if you have an NTPA association near you, you can have your own state class for it.
For 2.6, you'll not have any trouble finding a place to hook that truck. Not at all.
And if you do, send us, reach out to one of us. We will hook you up with somebody in your area. We will find you some homeboys to pull with.
I would agree. That's well said, Bruce.
Yeah.
Hoping for rules, maybe a new approach. Robert Danner says, I got to remember to read this for people that are listening on the podcast tomorrow. Hoping for rules, that's my own rule and I never do it. Hoping for rules unification, maybe a new approach to what is a Grand National or Champions Tour event. Hoping for more pulls like you guys are doing. Yeah. Be cool. Start the TPC franchise.
Except for light limited super stock, we can't unify those rules because without that, pull off will go away.
No, that's that 150 pounds. That's a killer every time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? I thought it was the extra 0.4 inches on the diesel turbos.
Well, it depends. Depends on what part of the country we're in.
And whether the discussion is taking place on a Tuesday or whether we have a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
A new column is going to come in.
Or whether the shortest person in the audience has declared what the color purple smells
there's
like.
A guy. Now, there's a guy that can comment on the light limited super.
I'm glad you commented, Ben.
Ken Summers says, save your PPL stickers.
Yeah.
There was a rumor flying around that Ken Summers bought the Western Series, and he called me yesterday to make sure I said it on the show that he's absolutely buying the Western Series. Him and Tricia want to get divorced, he said. So,
surefire way to do it.
He called me.
Surefire way.
I was driving home from the Ozarks like Bruce and Cody yesterday, and when Ron Stone texts you at 1 a.m. and says he's come over to your house, next time say no. because he do not go to bed early. When he brings his guitar, that's all.
Well,
I'm
I was just going to say, you text him back and you say, leave your guitar in your room.
Novak, if he saw my Snapchat, he got low with me. He did to the windows, so I don't know. It was kind of fun. So, I'll buy shares for the TPC polling series. Write that down, Paul.
They're $1 million a piece.
I was going to say we'll have to come up with a IPO on that.
This looks like one of those. If you can read this, you're actually smart. One of those memes on Facebook. The comeback is greater than the setback. As owner of Carolina Truck and Tractor Pullers, I support and stand behind John and Christy throughout their decisions, and I'm sure they will make the best decision. I was there in the member state meeting. I will tell this, and it's definitely a fact that there are hearts in it for the Pullers, member states, promoters, and fans. They're commenting on one of the groups, so I don't know their name, but I don't know who owns the Carolina Truck and Tractor Pullers, but that's a great comment. So I got to go out to the group and find out who said that. But these are the kind of comments I like from our, like your Greg Elston's of the world, your, presidents of your Badger State and stuff. As the current president of Western PA Truck and Tractor Pullers, WPTTP. I say that 5 times real fast. Our club has operated for over 50 years and has gone through many changes in that time. We are always adapting to a changing and growing sport. If pulling hadn't evolved, we would still be pulling horses and stock antiques. A chapter in pulling history has closed, but a new one will be written. Nice job, Brad.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well said.
There's Sheldon. I mean, they do a lot more at Wheatland guys than just pull, right? Don't they?
Yeah.
Circle track there.
Oh yeah, the circle track is their bread and butter there. That's not going to go anyway anytime soon.
For the older, mature fans that are watching tonight, the legends, if you will, what are some of the glory years? Because as I put this comment up here, the Red Man series, who was telling me, was it Wrangler jeans? Charles was the big one.
Wrangler was a huge one, and
then Hutchinson. It was Bruce Hutcherson or Hutchinson?
Hutcherson.
He was sponsored by Carhartt, and he wouldn't put on a Wrangler cap or something, and that's what screwed the whole deal up. Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. He had the Make and Bacon special, right?
He did. And after that, he was very savvy with his marketing. When the Carhartt deal was done, he got tobacco money. He had Levi Garrett on his stuff.
That's awesome. But we've seen that big sponsorship dollar, and I don't know what they got back then, guys. But we've seen that dollar go to the organizations now because Lucas Oil did it. If you were a sponsor, right, guys, and you looked at these 3 major associations, am I going to hook up with NTPA or Pro Pulling League or the Outlaws? They offered, and I don't know what an Outlaw sponsorship is, a title sponsorship versus NTPA or Outlaws, but the Lucas Oil, they laid out the whole buffet, right? You got the boats, didn't they do it like that? Because I feel like I saw the same sponsors, guys, when I would watch a boat race or a circle track. I'd see the Super Cleans, the
off-road stuff, the Supercross, anything that they're associated with in motorsports. Your sponsorship went across the whole motorsports department, as to say, for Lucas Oil. So anything that they were owners or title sponsors to, it was you got sponsorship and everything.
That's how General Tire came in. They came in through the off-road side. They don't do anything for pulling, but there they were. Their logo was all over the place on the pulling side as well.
What classes are not unified nationally on a national level?
So all of them.
Right, if you're a puller today, guys, and you were a PPL Champions Tour puller, where do you not have a place to go now? Is it just the mods?
Super Farm.
Pro Stock.
Pro Stocks are same as NTPA.
No, they have
Pro
limits
Mod
on
4x4.
Chargers.
They're not?
They have limits on the Chargers. One does, one doesn't.
I did not know that. I always thought they were the exact same thing.
No.
NTPA's got an exhaust wheel limit.
How did Simon's when they go to Toma then? They change turbos?
No, you run within the rules.
Oh, gotcha. Jake Price says, I see the situation with PPL as a good thing in a way that maybe a sponsor that could use the publicity would step up or make an organization that needs it would step in and help. Wishful thinking. No, I think that's what everybody's thinking.
Are the light supers, are they unified?
I think they are, yes.
If they're not, they're really close.
Yeah, I believe they are. The only difference is a 100-pound difference in weight.
And then unlimited supers are going to be real close.
Yep,
They're
they'd
the
be the
same.
same.
Well, which one outlawed
Diesel super stock trucks will be the same.
Yep. Well, actually, unlimited super stocks with PPL, you can run electronic fuel system, right? EFI.
Yes, you are allowed
Oh,
to
yes,
get five.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So,
That is
but
true.
nobody's running it.
Nobody's
currently,
doing it.
So
I was. I don't even know who the last one to try was. Jeff.
Pain.
Pain.
That's right.
And I believe,
And then before that is Gettinger.
Hmm.
And
I
then it
believe
was
as the weekend hit, 3.0 diesel trucks, there's 200-pound weight difference between, say, Outlaws and PBL too.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of them. It seems like there's just mainly weight differences. But
yeah. Obviously, Super Farm. There's a difference there with coolers and whatnot. Chargers, and mod 4-wheel drive trucks. You have the unlimited cubic inch with PPL.
2-wheel drive has a difference with the T-bucket thing.
Yep. So there's a weight difference thing there, and
Some Brent Penn guy commented. We heard of him before.
there needs to be more dots after, no more periods after that.
Dot.
Travis is right on light super stock with
Oh,
PPL. You
that's
can't
right.
run a billet block.
That's right. That was a big one.
Never asked Travis to do anything on a Thursday night. That's his official bowling night. So we tried to have him on our power ranking show, Charles. So
Yeah, that didn't work.
If you ever want the Grand National Champion on your show, you cannot pick a Thursday. Just a heads up to everybody. So, Burkholz, let's say PPL pools had to go
Good
on
question.
their own for a year. Not my prediction, just a scenario to figure out the new series. Is it mainly the insurance that makes it a pain? Yes, we can tell you.
Insurance is a bitch.
Absolutely.
If
If you're not
You're
associated
smart.
with an association, insurance can be tricky to do. I'm
Paul,
not
what
saying. I'm
What
not
did
saying
Dollar
you
have
can't
to
get
bail
it.
us out of last year on our insurance? Was it
What's that?
15,000?
How about what's that?
What was our total insurance bill last year for TPC because we did it on our own? 15,000.
With everything, with rain insurance, with general liability insurance, and polar insurance, it was
Close to
It was
20.
15.
over. I think it was over 20,
It was
Insurance
over 20.
is the biggest thing, you guys, that nobody talks about in the sport of polo.
and that was for a 2-day event.
But that's the thing is that we were not affiliated with an association, and what that basically boils down to a real quick insurance kind of thing on that. It mainly revolves around having a uniform set of rules and teching. That is where your insurance really comes into play. As far as you have to have a couple different kinds. You've got to have your performer's liability for your guys going down the track in case a wheel comes off, jumps up in the stand. You have general liability for the grounds. And if you're smart, you'll do the rain insurance. Some guys try not to do that. That can bite you in the ass pretty hard. But insurance is a big deal. That's on a pull. I think that's probably the biggest thing other than drawing a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
This comment right here, Garrett, I would sometimes if you watch an early part of a show, you don't see the stands as much. Is full, and a lot of times with the way the cameras point, they point to the starting line. Like you might go to like a Hutchinson, Minnesota, and they might have 5,000 people there, but the cameras are facing that section left of the grandstands, where on the pit side. Because we've talked about this, like Hillsborough is always packed, but if you watch our opening video, that was a Friday night video, the winners class, and the first class at 6 o'clock or 6:30, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get everybody there, so I don't feel like Lucas Oil pulled out because the stands weren't full.
No, there was plenty of events that I went to where you have great crowds. I mean, it's just like Jason just said. I mean, I think Hutch is a good one where if they're filming on the same side as the grandstands across the track, the other side there's like enough room for like 1,000 people.
Well,
So
Bruce and I have talked about this. Sometimes his best shot, I don't know the whole sun versus sun thing, but sometimes, guys, your shot, you might have like 5,000 people behind you, but you shoot to their side and there's only 500 people and it looks empty. But you've told me, hey, Schultz, I love you, but I'm going to take the best photo I can. I don't care, but if you can show a full stands, because there is that, that's a perfect point right there, that comment, guys. So Robbie's saying, to Colin Burkholtz's idea, if you wanted to get 10 shows together, he's saying insurance isn't bad. And I know Robbie knows from his California stuff with his brothers, Max Tackle. I think that's what it's called out there.
Yep.
Guys, when you see Facebook user on the screen like this, we're on Twitter tonight, LinkedIn, YouTube, Charles's page, which is sidetracked, Beer Money, of course. So we're across all of it. When you see like these Facebook user comments, they're on one of our Facebook groups. For whatever reason, my StreamYard doesn't work with this, and Yarn keeps telling me to buy something different. I will one of these days. Just haven't done it yet. Ference Vague says, dang insurance, guys. And it is vague. I do want to make that clear. Our biggest audience ever, Ference, We're going to get everybody to pronounce your last name correctly now. So it's all good. And Doug, it's Meisinger. It's not Messinger. Okay. Bausma. It's not Boozma. Rusink, not Rusinik. So I'm just helping everybody out for our biggest. Charles, is it Poosh or Posh? Charles, what do you want to be called?
Posh.
Posh. Charles Posh. So this is your chance. So. Dan. Oh my God. Dan.
Yeah, Dan's right. I was wrong on that one.
We got Alex Trebek in the house of pulling. Bruce Hutcherson retired with Carhartt, never ran with Levi Garrett. That was John Heilman. So Charles, you have to go in the corner now for 30 seconds. So you can come back out. So the penalty box. But I'm just kind of honored that Dan Mayer's watching us. that makes me smile. So Adam, a lot of events we went this year. The crowd was great. I think pulling had an awesome year for crowd.
Yeah, I would echo that one. Yeah, I feel like the more events that you have, the easier it is to get like insurance at a reasonable cost. It's when you're doing these one-off events is where they're going to stick you.
So we've been saying relax all night. Pulling's not dead, and it's not. It's not. It's going to be fine. We've talked about this all. Man, the comments are awesome, you guys. That's a rip on one of our videos. It's Rowan Stone. That's his new name. TPC will be interesting for rules, especially in our class. That's Super Farm. We'll talk about that another day. The PPL holds multiple events next as a new organization. They should be able to work a payout good insurance rate. I'm sure when you got TP insurance, you paid almost as PPL did all year. I don't know that. I don't know that insurance game, guys, but I know it was a butt kicking, and we were a little naive when it came to the old insurance. So. Oh, Brent Shorefighty wants to put his name out there. It's Shorefighty.
I've heard that one. I've heard that one butchered many times.
Shorefighty.
Shorefighty. Single event. Okay, and this is from Ferenc Veg again, the aforementioned. It's not Vey, and I've been calling him that forever, and I consider him a friend. He just said he got so sick of people butchered his name, he just kind of smiled. Roos is close to that, used to that as well. But Ferenc is an insurance guy. Single event, non-sanctioned event is more per day than an association during their entire season per day rate. So wow. So insurance is a profit center then. Kind of. Yeah, no.
No, single events are a profit center.
Right.
Shorefighty. God damn you.
Pulling is alive and thriving. Tractors being built every day by Paul. Brett Shorefighty. Richard Warren.
Not wrong.
Richard Warren, your name should be Richard Warren 5-0 Pro. That's what we got to call that class. So Waggle wants me to help make sure we get that out there. It's 5-0 Pro. Wayne Lamore. Wilson. Thank you, Adam, because we've been butchering your name all these years. Ooh, Lisa Jostock's in the house. How will this affect the National Farm Machinery Show? Guys?
I've wondered that too.
I don't think it will much.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it wouldn't affect the polling wise because everybody's got their things in. What did I'd always see John and Christy there.
Yeah, they would always bring in tech officials and stuff like that across multiple associations, and they all had a different hand in giving helping out with the event. Obviously, Witt's going to still do his thing and make it a good event. I mean, I think they're just going to keep rolling with what they got. So,
and I see no reason they couldn't turn around and still hire John and Christy to do the roles that they always have done there.
Exactly.
Hey, okay. In 7 years, can we write the book about all the rumors we've heard in the last 3 days? I'm not saying them, but is that what the statute of limitations wears off, Charles? Is it 7 years?
Someday we can maybe reprise this show and relay all the BS that's come out in the last 48 hours and how hard it has made us laugh, but not now.
Crap. That means that we have to go back and document it all.
Oh, I think it's going to stick in the memory.
Yeah, there's something I'm not going to remember. So, actually, if I could get a generator sponsor, you guys, I would. I'd get a quieter generator. But I think even if I get a new toter and trailer, I really think I'm going to keep the generator. I just really feel like it's a calling card. So,
I really think that we're all going to light it on fire.
It's just going to disappear. It's not going to go on fire. It's just going to disappear. Nobody's going to know where it's going to end up at.
No,
TPC
it will be a public destruction.
When you guys see comments like this, and we're proud of the TPC, but what would you say? In other words, TPC needs to be multiple events. I mean, that's a neat idea. But how would you?
Brad, let's put it this way. This was Rich Brown when I joined the TPC board to plan this event. Now, would you like to take a look at it? It's beautiful gray.
If we can,
and that's one event.
If we can secure the funding like a Lucas Oil where I can quit my day job, then yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what it would take.
Yeah, I feel like, we would love to have multiple TPC events. We got to get the first one going first, though. It's got to be successful before we move on to more than one event. So let's just make the first one good and make it thrive, and then we can start talking about
insurance probably right now.
Well played, Slava.
I got something for you. Mrs. Workman made this for me at the photo booth at the Outlaw Banquet. So that's my very own I Do Home Loan sign. So I'm going to start using it. So thank you, Maribeth. Tapped out, hooked me up. So here's a good one.
Was having way too much fun on Friday night, by the way.
Who raised their hand if the Louisville March show was awesome? It was.
I watched live stream and it was awesome.
The Louisville March, the Matt
down there for that
trailer one.
100%.
It was awesome.
I sat there and I bought Terry Blackburn and Bobby Jones a couple beers and sat and talked to them the whole time after they got off the track. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Way higher. Would John Deere pick up or Luke? I don't think John Deere's ever spent any money, has it?
No. They've actually shown a willingness to go out of their way to squash this kind of stuff.
I've heard them, and this is just rumors, and I'll start this rumor because I always heard they said, "Why would we give you money? You already run our sheet metal."
Well, and the other thing too is that they're probably got a little sour taste in their mouth when the engineering for the 466 came out of a bunch of tractor puller dealership types out of Missouri. So they probably had a bad taste in their mouth since, I don't know, the 60s. This whole pulling deal when the Cajun Queen got the 466.
70s.
Or 70s, whatever.
Early 70s.
So, yeah, whatever. They shouldn't complain too much.
I just drove past that dealership on Friday.
Yep. There's a lot of green in there. They should be fine.
Mark Ham jumps in. That's better than Wilson. Ham. Mark Ham. Thank you, Mark. Like the pork, not the beer. I'm sure John and Christy probably have had plenty of offers so far. I don't know. I think he spelled Christy wrong, didn't he? Short 5D?
Yes.
He did.
Yeah.
Brent,
he's never going to pass tech again.
Short 5D, go to the corner.
Ben, that never goes away.
No.
Never.
No, the 5.0 Pro Stock's going to bury that.
Yes,
Our
it
class
is.
is going to change so much in the next couple of years.
Yes, it is.
Ryan Lively, this is the best one all night.
Yes.
Lively, you take that to pulloff.com. We don't want none of that nonsense here, buddy. So, will it affect Midwest Winter Nationals?
Not at all.
It's a standalone event.
Other than the fact that it'll be the most talked about subject there amongst the audience.
Yes.
Oh, he's talking about my generator. We don't talk. It's not the generator show tonight, guys. It's about PPL.
Travis, if you listen
until you get rid of it, it is always about the generator.
Yes.
See, Summers, I do feel bad for Summers because I like to park by him, and I did park by him a lot this summer. So I'm sorry, guys, but he is the owner of the Western Series now, so he can afford it. He can afford it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a generator sponsor of the Western Series, Summers, and I'll be your poster boy. So
this is a very
Jennifer,
kind of good comment.
That's
interesting.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Read it, Paul. Read it.
Speaking of insurance, do you think it would be good or bad if a major insurance company took over PPL? Well, you're guaranteed some business. I don't know how you insure yourself, but
as someone who works for an insurance company, never happen.
Oh no, it's never going to happen. But it's
You don't see the Haggerty pulling league happening anytime soon?
I am happy to write Haggerty policies that will cover every puller that's in the event, but they're not going to own it.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. You teed that up brilliantly.
Here, Kevin James has got a good one. You mentioned sponsorships. Brockman, Kodiak Banner Brothers, Big Ben by Wrangler. Is it Jasky Miller? It was Jasky, right?
Yeah.
Meisterbrow, Hutcherson, and then Carhartt, Heilman, and Levi Garrett. That's cool. Big names.
It'd be cool that the tobacco companies certainly have the money to spend, but unfortunately, there's been an advertising embargo against them since the early 2000s. It's never going to be a thing again.
Nope.
Charles, is it Blackburn or Blackborn?
Depends on where you're at in the country.
It's a good way to put it.
I'm from the South.
Brad, if they have full control, I could see a lot of headbutting with pullers. That'd probably be the insurance comment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Steffen, thank you, Mike, for always watching our shows. Isn't deer bitterness over an attempt lawsuit or a lawsuit when a tractor came apart? Ryan, that's a you question.
I don't have an answer for that.
I don't know, but if somebody did try to sue him, that's a waste of money.
Is Elon
Thomas,
Musk
have you been out to pull off yet? It's been hot for a while.
Is Elon? I just want to know if Elon Musk is watching, guys. Have you seen Elon pop up in the comments yet, Brent? Because once we get Elon on here, we've made it. So.
Well, yeah, because Elon can just kind of make an offer.
Let's get Elon to buy it.
No,
I'll even tolerate
the electric.
I'll even tolerate an EV class if he funds it enough.
That's true.
Can we tell the Rivian guys? Can the Rivian guys like put a tune on their truck so they can beat the Tesla truck? That it doesn't exist. Never mind.
We're going to have a little bit of an issue with fire mitigation. Should one of those catch on fire on the track?
Yeah.
Colin's coming in strong. Longs can't be patient.
Colin always brings his A game. You know that.
I was going to say the first thing Elon would do is get Jason a new generator that's quiet.
Maybe.
Could be.
RJ, once the W9 sells, RJ, I'm going to come to Farley and I'm going to look at your used parking lot out there. Because I can't afford that new stuff, and I'm going to get me a toter. We're going to do that's going to be a big live, guys. That's going to be a big live when I get the new toter. So.
Hey, and RJ is also going to school you on a few things with some opinions and potentially some very, very, very good advice for us.
Yeah, he told me we had a chat this afternoon unofficially.
Good.
He said you were supposed to tell me, and you didn't.
Yeah, it's because you were too busy harassing the auctioneer. I was going to tell you.
That is very
busy harassing auctioneers and dressing up like the Wish version of Elton John.
I was working hard this weekend, you guys, at the Outlaw Banquet.
You worked it hard, that's for sure.
If anybody needs, what was I? Was I a ring man or a ring guy? What was I?
You were a ring man.
Yeah, a ring man.
I was a ring man. That was fun.
And what Jason was starting to say is if you need somebody, don't pick him. Because that auctioneer, I asked him, that was the longest auction he's ever worked for the amount of items that were. Because of
he was literally looking for a blunt object to hit him with.
It's for the kids. And what I loved was I was sober as a judge, and everybody's like, "Oh, Schultz has been drinking." No, I didn't drink till afterwards.
He did say that. He's like, you would have thought them guys were hammered, and he was sober.
I was very sober. So
yeah,
I think the funniest part of that that whole auction though was the conversation that Cody and I had when that whiskey decanter set came up. He looks at me and says, "Are we going to fight over this?" $4,000 later, neither one of us had it.
Red Man is no longer. It's now America's Chew. Gordon Cox. Gordon, what do you mean by that? The Walsh Fort Recovery accident. Is that?
Give us a little context, Jordan.
Gordon, think that was in reference to John Deere having something.
Gotcha.
The John Deere comment.
Deers hate pulling, period. They don't even want their motors in pulling. Well, they're really not anymore, if that makes them feel better. So.
Oh, my God, Charles.
There's Elon.
That is freaking
I was wondering
fantastic.
what old Posh was doing up there. Now I know. So
that's awesome.
Somebody please tell me that Tony's going to make a shirt out of that.
He's got a chassis sitting there in the shop. He has threatened if he can get his hands on some electric engines to put one on either side of the transfer case and see what the hell would happen.
I'm going to go to hose out.
I would come up to watch him test that.
KawasakiPartsWarehouse.com pulling series, Paul. What do you think of that?
Optima battery stock just went skyrocket. Thank you, Charles.
Imagine Flow as a title sponsor. Oh my God. Or Progressive. That's that Flow chick, right? The annoying one?
Yeah.
Starlink pulling series. Man, Elon's popular tonight here.
Elon gets it done.
Maybe farmers in insurance, you seen a thing or two, so have we type of thing.
Would like Summit Racing to come on as a headlining sponsor. Have they ever been involved in pulling, Charles?
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Summit Racing?
They were
Charles, pay attention.
They were the class sponsor for mini rods this year and last year.
For pulling?
As well as I believe that they did a sponsorship with NTPA as well for something.
I hope this helps get minis into the Outlaws. I don't know if it will, but that's just my personal thing.
Minis are growing. I mean,
I know.
It's a matter of time, I think, until it starts making its way west.
Mini rods.
Yeah, I love them. I was told that by SpecCast, that is why they can't get a license for any deer pullers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a big one.
Hypothetically, no one takes over. Where do the pro stocks with Mitas tires go?
They go to the barn and put their whole shots back on.
Yep.
And that was.
I have a note. If the Mitas fit the outlaw rules, and I'm not in the rules game type of thing to know that, if they fit, how many guys would buy Mitas, run them for a season if they fit this year's rules and have a cheaper set of tires to run for the year? Ever think about that?
Wait, say it one more time.
If the Mitas fit the outlaw rules for this year, and guys are wanting to get rid of their Mitas because they don't fit NTPA rules, how many guys would sell those and run outlaws? Outlaws pick them up and buy a cheaper set of Mitas that don't fit for NTPA.
Yeah.
Just a thought for anybody.
Definitely a possibility.
For looking and has a set they need to get rid of, that might be a thought.
Like rent a set, you mean?
No, they'd buy them.
Just outright purchase them.
Because if they're no good for NTPA and they've got sets sitting there, what are they going to do with them? Well, if they fit the outlaw rules, why not run them for outlaws for a season? Just a thought.
Yeah, it's a good question, because I'm sure there's guys that are scratching their head and saying, what am I going to do with these nice toy balloons?
Right?
I know one guy who's actually watching right now who's trying to figure that out.
RJ?
Yeah.
Always.
Bingo! For sale, not on sale.
Yeah, and congratulations to the Simons. They won the PPL event of the year, pull of the year. So
very deservedly, and you
absolutely.
I think almost have all of us been there except for Charles. Paul, have you been?
2.
Farley.
I've been there, but not during a pull. I've been there twice.
Let's say that whoever RJ runs a pull with, I would say that you guys need to make it there.
When's that, June?
Second week in June.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an awesome event. They do a phenomenal job there.
Charles, your cat is really, really angry.
Yeah, he's rowdy tonight. I don't know what's up with him.
Wow.
That's an option.
Yes.
Go, Brandon.
We're talking, Brandon.
That's how you make that a farm write-off.
That's right.
Hey, now that's an idea.
Hey, Charles, or Paul, I think one of you would be the best to explain that question.
What's that?
What's the infraction with the Mitas tires for the non-pullers?
As I understand it, purely it's the problem is they're over width.
They big. They thick.
Yeah.
But isn't it with the uncut version of the tire?
There's so many things on there, and the NTPA has not been completely transparent on why. There's a lot of people saying, well, it's about the 10 pounds on the 26-inch rims and all of that stuff. It's just like the whole PPL thing. I don't want to speculate, but there is an issue.
Until Marvin comes out and tells us, we don't know.
Yeah. The tires are not holding to the dimensions, and that's all I really care to say about it. I have heard a lot about them, but like I said, it is what it is. They have said no, and we'll see.
I'd assume that maybe more information will come out here in a couple weeks at the banquet on what the findings actually are. But yeah, as right now, they just said that they're not legal and can't run them. So until we get more information, it's hard to.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard tons and tons of different things on them, and like I said, not being personally involved with them, I don't want to get in the speculation game, but there's obviously an issue there, or at least they feel there is, and we'll see what happens. Which that's one of the things that I thought we would hear more about during the weekend, after this weekend of the PPL banquet, but they kind of got trumped a little bit, for lack of a better term, on the.
Yeah, it kind of took a back seat, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. So we'll wait and see what NTPA releases about them. There was a comment up there, gentleman's agreement. I forget. Schultz? Did you put that in there?
Where at?
Up in the comments a little bit. There was a gentleman's agreement, no me tossing Outlaw Pros for 2023.
Yep, that one came up with a.
Christopher Shirts has a good one up there.
Got it. Oh.
Sorry, Brent. Well, I mean, right now, if you're a state association and you need to hit your wagons, you have two options: NTPA or Outlaws. It's really that simple. And I think the insurance is what drives the boat. I don't think we're out of turn by saying that, guys. And
so, I guess I have a little question on that. What is the benefit other than insurance of being a member state?
You get that's how you get your insurance, because you can go in and buy in bigger.
Yeah, but
other than that,
what is the benefit? Because I'm pretty sure ITPA does not. The ITPA usually follows PPL rules. They used to be a member state from NTPA. They got out of that years ago. But I think they generally would follow PPL rule sets, but I didn't know what's the benefit, because a lot of people are asking, hey, what if I'm a state association and I was a member state, am I losing some sort of sponsorship dollars or sharing in some contingency money?
Well, I guess I can speak on behalf of with the Wisconsin tractor pullers. It really is just, it's insurance. It's a set of rules. All the rules, other than the state classes that aren't. So for like us, 2.6 diesel trucks are the only class aren't a sanctioning class with NTPA. So those are the only rules that get passed through the WTPA board. But other than that, yeah, it's there's not a whole lot other than just, being the member for a national association. But I think part of that is that you have that name that's, when you're trying to sell that we're a member state of this national association, I think is kind of one of the big factors that goes into it as well. It's a name that's associated with a lot of people when they talk about polling. So,
yes. So we're seeing some comments now.
Brent, can you keep up with them for a second?
Yeah. So Jason is saying that TNT in Kentucky is a standalone. Jason Gibson, Sandy Payne, NTPA gives membership states some amount of dollars for being member state. So I assume there was probably some sort of a contingency money or, some sponsorship dollars that you might be able to share in, and then you basically adopt their rule sets. But
I remember from my Badger State when I was on the board, we all pay, every puller pays to join an organization. That money gets sent in, and at the end of the year, a points check comes back. And I think that was the comment earlier that Patty made. I remember Greg telling me he was scared to death. I think Lucas Oil covered the ATPA checks, because I don't think that money was there. Or I don't know. I wish somebody could jump on that actually knew, but I think that was some of the stuff I heard.
You mean the moon?
Brett,
The moon
can you
in the
click on
line
the
with the
comments
stars
for me?
and present check money to into the bank.
Oh
account?
Lord,
That's
here we
no.
go.
Sorry,
I know there's some guys who are still waiting to see a check from that last season.
Yes, that is.
Mhm.
I know that for a fact.
Where are we at? TNT in Kentucky is standalone. Did I get that comment yet? Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jason put that up there. But there are some stronger state associations that may not have been, they've been. Like I said, I'll take ITPA for example. They are not a member state, but they follow the PPL rules, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But they still, they're a strong enough. They've got enough members that they can do it on their own. Now, some memberships may not have that option, but. This, like I said, the timing of this announcement still gives these associations some time to figure out, hey, we were a member state. What do we need to do to mitigate insurance costs?
Yeah. There's quite a few associations out there that they do fine without them. I mean, Jason said in there as well with TNT, and another one that comes to mind is ECI. I mean, they have a big membership, and they have a lot of events, and I mean, they do a hell of a job. So it's not that you just because you don't have a national association to tie your name to means that you're dead. It just means that things might be a little different in the short term, but long term you can still succeed. So
there's some truth to that, Ference. That's why we have way too many rules in polling.
Agreed.
Yeah. But even still, like you see some of these different associations taking different rules, and they're all somewhat similar, but there's enough difference in some of these classes that they're never going to be the same.
Ohio's the biggest state association, right? Ohio.
OSTPA.
Yeah,
is probably the biggest one.
Timothy Wolf says, don't quote me, but I don't know if NTPA would take Ohio back. Some bad things back in the day.
And there again, that's the, time, they say, heals all wounds, but if the face of polling is changing in the situation that we're in now, I mean, people are gonna, I would think, as new leadership comes in and things kind of cycle through, you're gonna see some of that stuff hopefully go away. If that's the only reason that it's not, or if that's what their reason would be for not accepting him back, well then that's just petty and stupid. That helps no one.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know why Boyd's? I don't want to get into that.
No.
I don't know why anyway. Sorry, I'm just clicking on everything.
But the second mini sold out of the Boyd shop.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty exciting. So Kevin Campbell, people that don't know, he owns Chaos Fabrication. He bought a mini rod for his now wife, Lindsay, and they are going to campaign that next year. So thought that's pretty exciting. I know both Kevin and Lindsay, and Lindsay's been a good friend for the last couple of years, and
sure disappeared into the feed from Sunday, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at there.
Hey, shameless plugs, boys. If Short Fighty can get his name said right for the rest of his life, I can throw a TPC t-shirt ad up there. Go to beermoneypullingteam.com, order right now. Get your 2022 TPC gear just delivered in time to your house for Christmas.
This is what is remaining from last year. This is not new merch for 2023. This is last year's leftover stuff. We finally got it around to getting up there, and you can get on beermoneypullingteam.com and order, and quantities are limited. There are hoodies, there are t-shirts, so check it out.
Yep, and black, gray, and red.
And for all you haters, I'm not keeping the money. It's going back to the pullers. So just for all, I know there's one or two of you out there that think highly of me.
I see a comment about Campbell getting the limited super stock return. He technically still doesn't own it. That is still, what's his name? David Jones or something like
The
that?
guy in Britain,
Gentleman
right?
from England, right?
Yeah, he's from the UK, so he still owns it. So technically, it's not Kevin's tractor. So everything still has to go through that individual.
Yeah, because he got voted into TPC last year, right?
Mhm.
Correct. And then they just had no time with building Parrish's new pro stock, getting other people ready to go, and they just ran out.
When it pulled apart, when it first got started, the checks came from ATPA directly, and then that they came often. That was in 2001. I got to keep up with the comments better. I've said that 3 times. Sorry, guys. Only in mini rods can you be 25th hook and be middle of class.
Yeah.
Well said, Adam.
It's crazy how much the mini rod class has grown in the last 5 years.
I'm telling you, 5 years ago, Roos and I were in Mound City, and there wasn't 6 or 8 of them there.
Yep.
It was insane.
Yep. I mean, even when before the 50th anniversary at Bowling Green was 2016, and that's the first time they had 40 mini rods, I think, ever at Bowling Green. And the year before that, I'm pretty sure only had like 28 or 30 of them. And ever since then, they've never had less than 40. So,
okay, yeah. Terry Benson's comment on the group. So Terry would have pulled with them. The checks came from ATPA directly, and that was in 2001. Okay, gotcha. What year did they take over the press release? 2006?
5 or 6, I thought.
Okay.
well, this is their 17th year, so
The Remedy's in the hallway between the stadium and the trade show where everybody walks by, Christopher. So,
And there will be at least 2 pullers in that hallway. Another one besides yours.
who?
Phil Wright Bacon Bits Mini will be in there as well.
Nice.
and speaking of him, he's also going to have a second tractor.
Was that just a joke, or is he building the run?
No, that's a real deal.
That's real. He's getting another one.
Is that Boyd's
Right.
other mini?
No, that's
No,
No.
new modern chassis.
Okay.
Yep.
I like, people like Terry Benson jumping on that pulled with the ATPA and stuff like that. So, I mean, all right, let's just do what good things happened the last 17 years, besides the things we talked about with Pro Pulling League. If you're a puller or you're a fan, what have you most enjoyed about having, the PPL come around and they bought it from ATPA? Mini rods are like pocket watches. Everyone needs one. Robbie says 52. What's the answer to that?
52 was this year. How many
At
were
where?
at Bowling Green?
Boyd BG?
Yeah.
Who won the ring for minis?
Was it Fagundes?
No, it was.
But him or
Was it Jordan? That
No.
won it?
No.
No,
was it Bart that won it with Bobcat?
no, because they broke the first night,
That's
and then they
right,
put new
yeah.
motor in, and they won the 10,000.
Mm.
Adam Bauer, I think it was, with Iron Toy.
Yep.
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 They're building a big mini, aren't they? Anyone know what direction It's No Joke Motorsports is going? Aren't they building a big mini?
Yes.
That was the plan.
I think
yes.
so.
Yep.
I'm not speaking on behalf of the Evans, but I think that's pretty. We knew
Yeah,
that.
They've
the
been
little ones for sale.
Yep, and they've been going around with Harbison's now for the last year, and I think that kind of helped them spark the interest. And I don't know if they're going to trailer mate together or what their plans are, but
So Josh Driscoll says, if there isn't a point series, how big of a purse am I going to need to bring Ohio guys to Hudsonville, Michigan? That's why we need a national or at least regional org. That's a good point.
very good point.
Or everybody's going to stay home, play in their own sandbox. Roger, this is the best comment besides Brian Lively's tonight. I'd rather need to change the weight rules so fat guys like me can make weight.
I know of some other people that would be very much in favor of that rule change.
Oh, here's all the Adam Bowers. Yeah, I should keep up with the comments, guys. Come on. Bauer,
All the people that would know.
Bobcat. Thank you. Uh-oh. Andy's out of bed. Pulling was on national TV station on Sunday afternoon, CBS. Excellent exposure for the sport. Yeah, Kurt Shannow touched on that right away. I think I said Shannow right. He didn't send me a new correction, Posh, so I think I did that right.
Kurt, if you're watching, give us a phonetic spelling in the comments, please.
Okay,
Crayons, bus lines.
this is good. A lot of you don't know this. Champions Tour had show money for pullers.
Yep.
I know the NTPA changed it last year, and there was a lot of unhappy people. I don't know enough. I don't run NTPA Grand National because they didn't put the 4-1s on there. That's another side story. But I know because I've been at the trailer, like at a Lucas Oil pull and a Champions Tour puller come through, and they would get a check. I think it was $250 per event per vehicle. I think. I don't know what the NTPA does. I thought maybe the NTPA moved it to the end of the year, and that's what kind of made everybody mad. But I know if you were a Champions Tour puller and then you could miss 2 pulls, and then
I thought it was 3.
Is it
2.
3?
I thought it was 2 as well.
But you don't get your show
And
money.
it's not.
Yeah, you don't
I
get
thought
your
it.
show money.
Isn't it for the Champions Club and not the Champions Tour competitors that you had to
What's a
join the Champions Club?
What's that?
So you paid to get into it, and I don't know if one of the. I know there's pullers in here, but that's where you would get those extra benefits from, like the incentives from, because they also had it that if they reset the sled on you, that you got paid as well, and different things like that.
Okay, read that comment. Jay Hire. NTPA is all business. PPL was just fun, family oriented, and not all about money. I'm pretty sure that Forrest got involved in pulling to make some money. I would think. I don't know. This is a good comment. I've had fun at Toma. That's fun. Hutchinson's fun. Rockwell's fun.
Rockwell's a blast.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know what that comment is.
That's what it is. Go down the comments.
Yep. So it is a
Jason
Champions
Gibson.
Club. I just found it too. So
NTPA didn't pay any show up money. He said they put in the points fund.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's every puller's thing. Then show me. Yeah, I've been there. I understand that.
So yeah, Schultz, it is the Champions Club, and I found it too. It was 16 vehicles max per class. You were pre-entered into every Champions Tour event. You had free entry to every event. You had designated parking, $250 per vehicle per venue for tow money. You got display money if you were to display your vehicle. An autograph session money, $100 per service. National TV focus, double down money. So if you won 2 consecutive events, it was $500. 3 consecutive was $1,000. 4 consecutive was $2,000, and it capped it at 4 consecutive.
That's kind of cool.
The closest margin of distance for the season between second and first place will receive $1,000, and the closest margin between second and third place would receive $500. The Lucky Dog program will reward positions 11, 12, and 13. This is per event and the first day of 2-day events. Victory giveaway at the Champions Tour banquet that they would give away a UTV. Sled reset money, $200 to any member that has to rehook due to sled reset. And then points, you can have them drop a minimum of 2 hooks for the season. Or miss 2 hooks for the season.
You can miss it.
And still get points money.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's a lot of extra perks.
Yeah, I didn't know that was.
And the total membership for that was $2,000 for the season.
I'd do it.
Yeah, I would assume that was pretty full.
Yeah, and so that was 1 vehicle and 1 driver, and then any additional drivers for vehicle was $250.
I wonder how much Chiswick has nailed over the years on that one with the wins in a row.
$450.
He pays for his membership the first weekend.
Yep.
You got to give Brent Payne whatever he wanted earlier. Forget what he said. Was it the fuel injection thing?
Yeah.
So, okay, we're an hour 28 into this. Where else, you guys? Where else are we at? Charles, Brent, Cody, Ryan, Paul. I think we've covered it pretty well, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scrappy would have to get a lot of extra. I don't think the Outlaws could afford to offer that program to the Diesel Superstock class.
Well, that's why it's capped at 4. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we just wait and see what happens now.
Yep. We will, and if any state associations want any help getting the message out to their members with some lives like this, we can be live on Beer Money. We can be live on your state associate. Please reach out to me. I want to help all of you do this, get the word out, any message you want to get out. That's what we do. We talk polling. If it's happening in polling, we're talking about it. So,
How disappointing was it that Doug Meisinger didn't wear his flare hair up on the stage to accept his championship?
I thought of that too.
I was so disappointed.
RJ Simon or Brandon Simon, I am not answering that question. I'm gonna let you answer that question if you choose. I've heard a couple different things, and I'm not. I like RJ, and Brandon would put a knot on my head if you guys know what I'm saying. He's bigger than me, so. So, if you guys watching, as Farley.
Either way, I'm going to be there for at least Friday night. So,
yep. If you want to comment, we'll let you.
Unless
Robert
you have
Tanner,
another wedding scheduled, right?
my
Guys,
friends
when
need to
did-
stop doing it during the summer.
When's farm show stuff usually roll out, Charlie?
Yeah, 2
Usually
weeks
the
away.
weekend, the week after Thanksgiving is usually when we start seeing that stuff.
Yep.
I don't. Brent, can I answer this question? Or?
You sure can.
I want you to because you're our Alex Trebek of TPC.
Yep. Scrappy is coming back. It was a no doubter question when I asked if we asked if he's going to come back to defend his title from 2022, and we're hoping to give him some more heavy hitters to battle it against. So
I told you, Andy, this afternoon, full contact tiddlywinks.
Gerball, what is wrong with you?
We're going to start talking about Ship Shawana a lot now. We were going to start tonight, and then this thing happened over the weekend. I got everybody
stop
going.
with the Gordiwana stuff.
Oh, Ship
Midwest
Shawana.
Winter
Ship Shawana.
Nationals.
Midwest. We were going to start talking about the Midwest Winter Nationals more, and we didn't. Any positives from any banquet? Yeah, I mean, we got to see all of our friends and salute champions. The Outlaw Banquet was a blast, and the race.
Jason dressed up like Elton John.
So the tapped out pro stock pulling team put together the photo booth. They had some great things. The great Ryan Rusink took some awesome photos of me. So, and here comes
You haven't even seen them all yet.
ATPApolling.com was a website about a year ago. So
Is that Fort
It's
Wayne
still-
thing
it
still
is still
happening?
I don't know.
Hell no.
Hell no.
I don't know that it is. I know it might.
Wasn't it supposed to be this month, actually?
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Somebody forgot to tell the hockey team they have to get out of the building.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's
stars didn't align.
By the way, gang, this YouTube feed is 200% better than Facebook. What do you mean, Tim?
He's
I don't know what
watching
that
on
means.
YouTube versus Facebook tonight, I guess.
How's that
Yeah.
200% better?
I don't know.
Oh yes.
Oh, my
Next
6
comment.
Okay, somebody get that up. Charles, can you find that? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
I
good.
bet Shane Hunt came to the Outlaw Banquet. I didn't expect that.
The tux that Doug had on, he probably has to use as a blanket now because he's probably colder as hell under 6 feet of snow or however much they got. I saw they were getting a bunch of that snow.
Yeah.
Who?
Mysics.
Who?
Mysics.
You mean
Me
Lance?
Yeah, Lance. Sorry, not Doug. I was thinking about Doug, my singer. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! He went and talked to the Alice Chalmers guys from the farm show.
Her Midwest Winter Nationals didn't what's his name do that at Gordyville back in the day? This with Light Limited or that one Alice?
He wore like a Christmas tux.
That's right.
Or
You're right.
Christmas suit or something. That was pretty legit. He did that way too cheap. It was like $50 and like 230 racks of Busch Light. And his uncle or somebody bet that he wouldn't do it.
We've already had 17 orders of Polish Championship shirts since I put that up there.
Nice. I say
Keep it up,
limited
guys.
time,
Thank you for
limited
supporting.
quantities. Get them while they're still available because there will be no more printed from last year's vintage.
That's awesome. Hope just messaged me. She said the orders are rolling in. That's cool. Carly Davidson was our first order. Love you, Carly. And then Wyatt and Morgan must have their mom Linda's credit card because they were the second order. Linda's sleeping. She gets up like at 2 a.m. to feed the chickens and go deliver mail. So that's awesome.
I guess I need to get on there and order myself a hoodie.
Did I not bring you one?
Nope.
Then we must not have them because I brought you your shirt.
You did.
I don't have a TPC hoodie if that makes you feel any better. So
Mhm.
Hope if you're still watching, what size do you need, Bruce?
4.
4. Hope, yank it out. I take care of Ryan.
Yeah.
Justin, what are you talking about a gun show? What does that mean?
That's where that thing in Indiana, Fort Wayne. I got to keep up with comments.
Coliseum?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He would.
No, Schultz did not get a microphone, by the way.
What? No, I didn't.
What was that
behaved.
question?
I was behaved.
Brad must be in Facebook jail, so that's why he's talking about the YouTube's better.
What, did you put up too many Christmas lights videos or what, Brad? So is the YouTube feed better, guys? Why would it be better? Is it just different videos?
It probably doesn't buffer as much or it stays in the correct quality all the time. Type
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah, but the comment feed, like it feeds better for the comments.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they automatically come up versus like Facebook, you kind of have to keep scrolling.
Oh yeah, because the chat
Yeah.
is but does it put all the does it put the Twitter ones up and LinkedIn and everything, or does it just do that?
No.
Don't know.
No.
Probably just be YouTube, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck Hobbs, the Winter Nationals in Powder League, Kentucky this weekend, all mini rod event. Hey, that's awesome. I've been seeing some of his posts about that. Oh, my 6 are awake. The tux I got auctioned off too. How much of that tux bring?
While you were wearing it? That's weird.
Only up 2X is the largest hoodie, Roos.
Say what now?
2X is the largest hoodie that's left.
Well, that would make me look like Chris Farley, so let's not do
How
that.
about I think the TPC should donate one to you, and you should have to make a picture on the Facebook of you wearing a 2X hoodie. So
If anybody's friends with me on Facebook, you can see what a 4T shirt looks like on this guy.
TPC needs cat size kid gear. Christopher, is that a typo? Cat kid?
Shirts, use your words.
He corrected himself later and said fat kid sized gear.
Oh,
No! All right, that makes more sense.
Hey, fat
speaking
kid
of,
size gear.
fat kids are a thing now.
Hey, we got 4X and 5X on our beer money stuff and I had people said I should sell it cheaper because they're a better billboard with the beer money shirt. There was a guy at Ship Shawana.
That's
that
actually
came up
pretty
to me.
funny.
That was funny. Okay, here we go. Did Outlaw change weight on the mod 4-wheel drive class? Yes, it's 6,350. Was hearing that was on the agenda. I'm pretty sure I was there. Justin says in Fort Wayne, the ads don't exist on. There's ads. There's ads on Facebook now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went through this like 4 times.
We went through this last week.
Did we
Yeah,
really?
we've covered this.
I'm gonna check my stats. I might be getting rich. Wasion, Ohio.
Oh, Lord, here
Yeah.
we go.
I don't think you are.
Weekends this weekend, Friday. I'm pretty sure I'm not.
It's
I'm keeping all that TPC merch money though, so don't worry about that. Ralphie with a BB gun meme. That got you kicked out of Facebook, Brad? Ralphie with the BB gun?
Brad, hey, can you didn't fall off of yesterday's turnip truck. You know the stuff that gets you thrown in Facebook jail. Be smarter than the system.
I didn't know they were running ads on our lives. Cool. Man, we're getting
Oh
a
yeah,
deal.
they do.
Cool, as everyone hates them.
Doug's watching. He hasn't seen an ad yet. Wonder what is he watching on the probably be on beer money.
Well, here's
be the only
a
one.
trick for you guys on a computer. You can get an ad blocker.
Don't do that. I'm getting rich.
You're in like jail already, probably, and there's like one separate from prison.
I'm getting rich. My got $200 for that baby. If I would have been the ring man, that would have gone for 2 G's. Just saying.
It would have also taken 3 hours to get there, but it would have happened.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it's all about how you work the crowd.
Wait. I have a question. I need to consult with my client. God, Tim was ready to kill you.
You should have
really
heard. I was sitting on stage. You should have heard him
Who?
every time. You're like, whoa. Yeah.
I was just trying to do what's right for my clients, guys. I paused the auction many times for those of you that are wondering because he talks so fast, and I wasn't sure if we were 500 or 5,000.
Because he's an auctioneer, he's supposed to talk fast.
Okay. All right, Major.
Ritter didn't do it.
I thought it was 6,350. Josh, please correct me for Dylan Dirk. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to spread.
How would Josh know? He wasn't there. He didn't come. We missed you, buddy.
But he would have read something. No, Dylan. Josh says no. I've not seen any ads on either yet on Facebook mobile. I don't know. I'm watching on Facebook and I get ads. Jamie, we actually picked you to get ads because that's how much we love you.
Yeah. Because we wanted to annoy you.
I can go in and click the people that get ads. So if you're getting ads, it means you're special.
Yep.
Back to sponsors. Charlie Ross and Dave Campbell had Pepsi. You guys got to watch that thing on Netflix about the kid that got the Harrier jet with the 7 million Pepsi points. That's like awesome. Mike pulling the Ringman is the one that bought it. Perfect. There was some goofy ad for TPC gear, but I guess I just got to deal with it.
Hey, Driscoll, you keep it up. We're not going to send any of those Ohio pullers to
Hudsonville. Adam Wilson, Beer Money YouTube channel, getting subs faster than the speed of sound.
And Driscoll, in answer to your question about how you get pullers to come up from Ohio, you pimp that you are Hudsonville and you're one of the OG tracks in Michigan.
I do want to know if
some of my best memories of pulling were there.
It's one of the widest tracks you're ever going to pull on, too.
So Josh hasn't commented. Josh, do you know what got changed so I can actually put that on here? Josh, if you don't mind, or if anybody from the Outlaws is watching, what they did. Maybe I swear they said it went from 62 to 6,350. I swear that's what Ritter said, but maybe I'm obviously wrong. Jamie, what do you mean? I don't see
this. That's an emoji. I am a special pain in the ass.
He spelled pain wrong. He spelled it like Brent Payne.
Boy, it's like he was trying to pick on Brent Payne. That's not a very good idea, Jamie. Come on, you're better than that.
We stayed at 6,200. Thank you, Josh. Dylan, they stayed at 6,200.
Josh, when are you going to go get your trophy?
For those of you that are seeing Facebook ads, are you seeing them on a mobile device or a computer? I want to know if you guys don't mind because I want to investigate this. Means this is the second time you guys have told me about this. I should follow up. Brad says he gets ads on YouTube. Soon, buddy. Soon, he says.
Attaboy.
Charles, did we cover everything, buddy?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Brent, Yarn?
Sure.
Paul Romack?
Good to go.
So it's on mobile. The ads are on mobile.
All right, go back to that Ben comment, please.
Sandy Payne? Sandy Payne. I love Sandy Payne. I get to see you at the banquet. Travis and Allison are riding. They're going to drive me out. I just haven't told them yet because Brent won't ride with me.
Sorry.
Travis and Allison, let me know if you need earplugs. I'll send some over.
I'm not taking the generator, Ryan.
Leave the megaphone home.
Yeah, leave the megaphone home. I think it's in Grand Lake. I think you're going to have to make a longer roadie.
This will be at the Midwest Winter Nationals, just so you know. And I will go behind Charles when he's announced and say, Charles, it's Ference Vague and Shore 5D. It really works, Charles. I'm not kidding, buddy. So.
And Josh, I think you're probably going to need to bring at least a handle of Tito's to claim it.
Oh, for sure.
Summer ain't that cheap.
Thank you, Lance. Happy Thanksgiving to you in April.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. That's a different show, Ben. So.
Okay. Yeah. Questions for the people that are getting ads on the live stream. Are you just getting the ones that pop up, or are you getting the ones that actually play and stop the video and then continue afterwards? I found the setting, Schultz. So
okay. Well, if I can make money, I want to make money. Some guy accused me of all caring about on somebody.
So he's gonna figure out how he can double the ads, is what he's saying.
No, everything's just right. Flip it on.
Okay, sweet. Leave it on. Because if I'm gonna make, I got payroll to make, baby. Pop up. Cool. This has gone well tonight.
Yep.
For every cloud, there's a sunny day, right, guys?
Yep.
The new
And
beginning.
to our audience and to the audience who's watching, what is the most important takeaway from this long hour and 45-minute diatribe that the six of us have been on? Put it in the comments, please. There's 2 words. That's all we need.
They were set on the screen. You know what to do.
Colin.
I was going to say, I'm like, what are they going to, the 2 words are going to be like, shut up.
Colin, I love you, but the next time I see you, I'm going to kick you in the nuts.
That's 5. He can't count.
Grant Theobald, congratulations on your awesome season, young man.
Oh,
Yeah, had a baby.
that. So the people that aren't getting ads aren't watching the stream on Beer Money's page. They're watching on one of the other pages.
Yeah, I'm just going to.
That's what it is.
I got to monetize
That
that
makes
site
sense.
track page too.
I was wondering how some people are getting ads and not. No, yeah, it clicks now.
Yeah.
But
It's like an Easter egg hunt.
Good one, Kevin. Good one.
If you find one, save it for me.
This is awesome. Okay, you guys, please stick around. I'm gonna say thank you again to the Lucas Oil Pro Polling League for 17 awesome years. You guys give
Amen.
over $20 million back. You have made everybody else better. I mean, I think you made the NTPA look in the mirror. I think you made the Outlaws look in the mirror. I think those associations need to be ready to absorb some awesome pullers. And yeah, that's all I got. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We will be talking about this in the future as things develop again, and we will just be sharing the facts. And again, I'm serious about if any state associations want to get a message out to their fans, this is a great way to do it. And I can make money on the ads. So please give me a call.
Good grief.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't leave.
See you,
fellas.
folks. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya, guys.